In the heart of Nigeria, nestled within the verdant landscapes of Oyo State, lay the tranquil village of Akinyele. It was here, among the swaying palm trees and the harmonious songs of the forest, that Adisa and Kemi first met. They were but children then, innocent and carefree, their laughter echoing through the village as they explored every nook and cranny together. From a young age, Adisa and Kemi were inseparable. Their friendship blossomed like the hibiscus flowers that dotted the village, vibrant and full of life. They shared everything, from their dreams to their fears, their hopes to their secrets. The villagers watched with amusement and affection as the two grew up side by side, their bond unyielding and unbroken. As they entered their teenage years, Adisa and Kemi began to dream of a future beyond the boundaries of their village. They often sat beneath the ancient tree, its branches stretching towards the sky, and talked about their aspirations. "We'll go to the university in the city," Adisa would say, his eyes filled with determination. "We will learn everything we can and then come back to make our village better." Kemi would nod, her heart swelling with the promise of a shared future. "And we'll always be together, no matter where life takes us," she would reply, her voice a whisper of hope. The day finally came when they applied to the University of Ibadan, their excitement palpable as they filled out their applications. They had chosen the same courses, ensuring their paths would remain aligned. The wait for their acceptance letters were very agonizing, but when they arrived, the village erupted in celebration. Adisa and Kemi were going to the university, their dreams within reach. As they prepared to leave, the village gathered to bid them farewell. Mama Folake, the wise elder who had watched them over the years, pulled them aside. Her eyes, though clouded with age, held the depth of wisdom. "Remember, my children," she said, her voice a gentle admonition. "The world is vast, and the journey is long. But if we walk together in faith and love, nothing will be impossible." Her words resonated in their hearts as they left the village, hand in hand, ready to embrace the adventures that awaited them in the city. The University of Ibadan was a world unto itself, a hub of knowledge and culture. Adisa and Kemi found themselves immersed in the vibrant energy of the campus, eager to learn and grow. They attended lectures, joined clubs, and made new friends, all the while maintaining the bond that held them together for so long. It was during their first year in the university that their friendship blossomed into something deeper. The transition was seamless, as if their hearts had always known that they belonged together. They spent countless hours studying the library, taking long walks through the university, and sharing food in the bustling dining halls. Their relationship was one of mutual respect and admiration. They supported each other's dreams and encouraged one another to reach for the stars. Adisa, with his analytical mind, pursued a degree in engineering, while Kemi, with her nurturing spirit, chose to study medicine. Their paths, though distinct, were intertwined, each step forward taken with the other in mind. Despite the attention they received from other suitors, they remained steadfast in their commitment to one another. They turned down offers of romance from others, their hearts already spoken for. Their love story was no secret. It was celebrated by their friends and admired by their peers. As graduation approached, they began to plan their future together. They dreamed of returning to Akinyele to make a difference, to use their education to uplift their community. "We'll build a clinic," Kemi said, her eyes alight with passion. A place where people can receive the care they need. Don't worry, I'll design the sustainable infrastructure, Adisa added, his voice filled with conviction. With their degree in hand, they returned to Akinyele, where the village waited them with open arms. It was a joyous reunion, and the villagers celebrated their homecoming with a ceremony. In a grand display of love and tradition, Adisa and Kemi were married in the village square. The elders happily blessed their union and prayed for them, celebrating the love story that had captured their hearts. With their vows exchanged and their future bright, Adisa and Kemi returned to the city, ready to begin the new chapter of their lives together. Their dreams within reach and their love, once a childhood promise, had become the foundation of their shared destiny. Life in the city was everything they had hoped for. They found a modest apartment in Ibadan and began to lay the groundwork for their future. Kemi secured a position at a reputable hospital, while Adisa joined an engineering firm that valued his innovative ideas. Together, they began to save for their ultimate dream, returning to Akinyele to build the clinic and infrastructure that would transform their village. Their days were filled with the hustle and bustle of city life, but they always made time for each other. They cooked meals together, explored the streets of Ibadan, and spent weekends visiting favorite spots in the city. Yet, as they settled into their new life, an unforeseen challenge lurked beneath the surface. One evening, after a routine visit to the doctor, they received news that shook the foundation of their dreams. Their blood tests revealed that they both carried the sickle cell trait, a genetic condition that could be devastating for their future children. The revelation was a harsh reminder that even the most perfect love stories could be marred by an unexpected obstacle such as this. The doctor explained the risk that if both parents carry the sickle cell trait, there was a significant chance that their children could inherit the disease, leading to a life of pain and hardship. Adisa and Kemi were devastated. Their dreams of starting a family cast into uncertainty. They turned to their faith for guidance, seeking solace in prayer and reflection. They consulted with their pastor, a wise old man who was compassionate. God's ways are mysterious, he said, his voice a soothing balm for their troubled hearts. We are called to walk by faith, not by sight. Trust in him and he will guide your paths. He told them that if they believed in God, they could go ahead and give birth to their children, and by God's grace and some miracle, they would all be fine. The pastor's words offered comfort. But on the other hand, their doctor had urged with caution. Consider the implications carefully, he advised. The decision to have children is one that must be made with both heart and mind. Please, it would be better if you chose other options to give birth to children. Caught between their faith and reason, Adisa and Kemi faced an impossible choice. They longed for a family, for children who would carry their legacy forward, but the risk weighed heavily on their hearts. Despite the warnings of the doctor and their uncertainty, they decided to move forward with faith as their guide. They believed that love could conquer all, and that their shared journey had prepared them for whatever challenges lay ahead. With hope, they began to dream again for a family together. Months later, Kemi discovered she was pregnant. They celebrated the news with their friends and family, embracing the new chapter of their lives with optimism and gratitude. The villagers in Akinyele rejoiced at the news, their prayers and blessings a testament to the deep connections that bound them together. Throughout the pregnancy, Adisa and Kemi remained steadfast in their faith, but they made sure they visited the hospital for regular checkups, determined to give their child the best possible life. When she was due, she gave birth to a baby boy. When their son Tayo was born, Adisa and Kemi were overwhelmed with joy and pride. He was a healthy baby boy, or at least he looked like one. At the age of 2, he began to exhibit symptoms of sickle cell disease, the genetic condition that had cast a shadow over their dreams. The episodes of pain were excruciating, leaving him weak and exhausted. Adisa and Kemi watched helplessly as their son endured the trials of a disease they had prayed would spare him. Their lives became a cycle of hospital visits and medical treatments. The train of Tayo's illness taking its toll on their hearts and minds. They sought answers from doctors and specialists, hoping for a cure that seemed just out of reach. As Tayo's condition worsened, Adisa and Kemi found themselves questioning the path they had chosen. Their faith, once a source of strength, now felt like a fragile thread, strained under the weight of their son's suffering. They prayed for a miracle, for relief from the relentless pain that defined their days. Even the pastor could not help but pray for them as well. But there was no change. Yet, despite the trials, their love for Tayo remained unwavering. They held onto the hope that one day he would be free from the burden of his illness, that he would grow strong and healthy. It was this hope that sustained them, even as the reality of their situation threatened to unravel the life they had built together. The years passed and Tayo's condition continued to worsen. Each day was a battle, a test of resilience. The hospital visits became more frequent, and the medical bills mounting as they sought every possible treatment to their son. The doctors and nurses often questioned why they would intentionally bring a child into the world, knowing fully well that they carried the sickle cell disease. As Tayo approached his 4th birthday, his condition took a turn for the worse. The pain crisis became more frequent and severe, leaving him exhausted and frail. Adisa and Kemi watched helplessly as their son's light began to dim, their hearts breaking under the weight of his suffering. One evening, as the sun set over the city, Tayo succumbed to the illness that had plagued him for a long time. His passing was a devastating blow, shattering the dreams and hopes that Adisa and Kemi had held for their family. They were left to grapple with a grief that seemed insurmountable. The loss of their child, a wound that cut deep into their souls. In the wake of Tayo's death, Adisa and Kemi found themselves questioning everything they had believed in. They were angry at the world, at the injustice of losing their son to a disease they had been powerless to prevent. Their faith, once a guiding light, now felt like a cruel joke, a promise unfulfilled. They turned inwards, each consumed by their grief and guilt. Adisa blamed himself for not listening to the doctor's warnings, while Kemi questioned the decision to bring a child into a world fraught with such uncertainty. The bond they had once shared now was filled with shared pain, creating a rift that threatened to tear them apart. Grief is a heavy burden, my children, Mama Folake, an elder around their community, said. But it is a journey we must walk with courage and love. Do not let the loss of Tayo consume you, for he is not truly gone. His spirit lives on in the love he shared and the memories he created. Her words resonated with them, and slowly they began to heal, drawing strength from each other and the love they had always had for each other. In the months following Tayo's passing, Adisa and Kemi embarked on a journey of healing and self-discovery. They sought solace again in their faith, turning to prayer and reflection to find a strength to move on. Their love was tested by unimaginable pain, but they had emerged stronger and more resilient. As they rebuilt their lives, they made a conscious decision to honor Tayo's memory by dedicating themselves to the dreams they had once shared. They returned to Akinyele, determined to fulfill the promises they had made to their village and to each other. With the support of their community, They began to lay the foundation for the clinic and infrastructure they had envisioned. Their efforts were met with gratitude and admiration, the villagers rallying around them as they worked to bring their vision to life. The clinic became a beacon of hope, a place where the sick, especially the sickle cell carriers, could find healing and the weary could find comfort. Through their work, Adisa and Kemi found healing, their shared purpose a balm for the wounds of the past. Their story, once marked by loss and heartache, became one of hope and renewal. They understood that life was a tapestry of joy and sorrow. They consulted medical professionals, attempting to explore other options and making informed decisions about their future. In the end, their story, once marked by loss and heartache, became one of hope and renewal. And as they looked to the future, they did so with faith, knowing that together they could face whatever challenges lay ahead.